Now that we have an overview of the tools which we will use, let's take a deeper look at the architecture before we start building and deploying the Postgres database and the related resources. On the left side of the diagram, we have Docker, and as we mentioned earlier, a Docker registry is a repository for Docker images, and we will use a free Docker registry service from Docker Hub. First, we will build a custom PostgreSQL Docker image by adding our backup and restore scripts and other files. Then we will push our image to be used for deployment using Helm. GitHub is a free and open source control and is the most popular one for a reason. So all our codes from the scripts, Helm charts, Docker, and anything code related will be stored in a GitHub repository. The final item on the left side is bash scripting, and we will use bash to write the backup and restore scripts for the Postgres database. Now to the platform itself. The database and the cron jobs will run on Kubernetes. There are many flavors of Kubernetes. AWS, Google, Azure, IBM, and many others have their own flavors. But to save cost, we will run a local Kubernetes with Docker Desktop. The Postgres database will run on a single pod and store all of its data in a Kubernetes volume object. On the left side, we have the cron job. And the cron job is another type of Kubernetes resource that allows us to run tasks on a defined schedule. For the cron job which we will create, it has just one job, which is to connect to the Postgres database pod and execute the backup script that is located on the pod. The description of how the backup works, the location, the backup file name, and other details will be defined in the backup script. And don't forget, we will also have a restore script located on the Postgres database pod to restore any backups. Now, with a good understanding of the architecture, let's start building.